Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FsPassengers with me, MUHerd37. So we are in our Cessna. We're back in Roanoke. I thought it was snowy when we came in, although maybe not in Virginia. Well, yeah, it should be, especially now. I have actually been off classes canceled the past 2 days, including today, because of snow. That hit pretty good. Let's go over to FsPassengers. Why is it I always forget how to do this? Here we go. Load current aircraft. It's so weird because I forget this is how you gotta like set it up. 2 passengers. Let's mess with the fuel. 50% is fine. More than enough from where we're going. We've only got a couple, I think 200 miles to go. Let's set our type. Normal flight. Set destination. We're going from Roanoke to Wilmington, North Carolina. If you followed me on Airhauler, we used to have a base there. Flight and aircraft setting. I've never done that. That's all good. Wait, what is this? Disable payload and fuel update. That is enabled. I think I want that. Force selecting a payload model. Not forced. Not forced. Force enable disable pressurization. Not forced. Force enable disable flaps penalty. I thought it would be, I don't know. I think we do get dinged for not having the flaps. Let's go ahead and load this.
Check flight control. Check handset APU. Check.
Make sure we got our 2 people. We do.
Flaps up. Avionic. Check.
So we start the flight. Alright, let's get this set up. Put that over there. I went ahead and turned off the aircraft. I can't remember if it needs to be 100% or not when you start it. We're going to try this. Beacon on. Fuel pump on. Let's see if we can start it. I haven't done this in a long time, so hopefully it works. There we go. Alright, so it's on. You can turn the fuel pump on. Off, I'm sorry. Alternator on. Avionics on. Let's go ahead and turn our nav on as well. Pilot heat. Because it is cold. Fuel's 50%. They did set it correctly. I was kind of worried about that. Alright. Get our GPS out of the way. Let's also go ahead and start getting ATC so we can get out of here. We'll be going to the south. Get all this set up real quick. Alright, turn on the progressive taxi, acknowledge that. Alright, so we'll just push straight back. Let's look down here. I think we're alright so far. We can go ahead and turn taxi on, although we're not quite taxiing yet. Turn off the parking brake. And do our pushback.
Altimeter. ADF.
That's weird.
Altimeter.
Reset the altimeter, that comes up.
ADF.
ADF, I don't know. Alright, so let's make them put their seatbelts on. Should have already done that. I almost forget about that. I'm not sure how far we have to push back. Guess whenever we see the line, huh? Here we go. Alright, let's go ahead and stop our pushback. And let's go taxi onto the runway. I wonder what runway. What did they say? 33? So we'll probably have to taxi clear down to another run at the end. Well, it's... I can't tell. Is this going to be it right in front of us? Taxi to the left, take off to the right? Not sure. Not really getting on the line so much. I want to set a couple things up. I keep thinking of other stuff. Altitude will go up to 7,000 feet. Actually, we need to go odd because we're going south and east. Well, no, to the south. Yeah, north and west. If I remember correctly, north and west is even. South and east is odd. So we need to go like 70, I guess it would be, yeah, 7,000. Alright. Alright, so that is 33. So hopefully it's not too far down here. Yeah. Maybe we just won't go down all the way because, like I said in one of my videos, I'm not sure if it's this one or not, you can take off in the middle of the runway during the day. Can't do it during the night because all those accidents have happened. But you can during the day, so we don't really need to go all the way down there. We're just a little Cessna. Shouldn't be any problem for us. Although I'm taxiing a little fast. Alright, so go down maybe one or two more. Well, looks like the end of the runway's almost here, so we'll just go on all the way down. Might as well. Although I really don't want to, but we'll go all the way down. Let's get this climb at 700 feet a minute. Should be alright. I'm surprised I'm not seeing any snow. Whoa. Sorry, I had to move the mouse, got off the controls for a minute. Alright. Send out your flaps because if you don't remember, it will get dinged, so I'll go ahead and do that. Let's hit up ATC. See if we can hit at him yet. There we go.
Roanoke Tower, Lima Golf 430, ready at runway 33 south departure. Lima Golf 430, clear for takeoff, runway 33 departure to the south approach.
Alright, acknowledge it. Let's go down here and get our lights. Landing lights, strobe, or turn off the taxi. Because I can't remember if you're supposed to turn off the taxi or not. I'll go ahead and do that. And we'll do a rolling takeoff. No need to stop. Let me pull up the GPS real quick. Alright. I don't see any snow. Alright. So we're taking off to the north, which doesn't really make much sense. Because you know they don't pay attention to any wind. Alright, full power. Alright, 60 knots. We can probably get up. Whoa, get up. She really wants to go down. Daggone. That's a little better. I didn't trim it because I'm an idiot and forgot. We can go ahead and get rid of the flaps. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't have any snow anywhere. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the left. Get on our way. There's a little bit of snow, it looks like, over there on the mountains. Yeah, there's some. Should be more than that. Alright, I guess this is the city of Roanoke. Trimmed a little too much up. Autopilot. Go and hit the nav. Or altitude. Let's take a look outside. Why does it feel like we're going the wrong way? Well, that's kind of lame. I mean, not smart enough to go out and then get back on. That's kind of weird. There's our airport. I think Roanoke is actually a fairly big city. Well, big town, small city. Been there, through there many a times. I was setting up, I thought we might go to Raleigh-Durham, but I ended up saying, let's just go to Wilmington, because Raleigh wasn't, it was like 100 miles or so. So Wilmington was a further flight, so I went ahead and did that, because our next two flights are going to be pretty short. After this, we're going to go down to Myrtle Beach, which I think is only like 60-some miles. Then we're going to go from Myrtle to Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, because I freaking love Hilton Head. And that's going to be even shorter. That's not very far at all. But those will be our next two flights. And I was kind of thinking... Let me get the GPS back up. I was kind of thinking maybe...
Lima Golf 430, you were leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
So I was kind of thinking we should just go south, maybe to the end of Florida, maybe over towards Key West or something. Just keep going south like that on the East Coast. Then fly a little to the west and come up the states, and then a little more west, and then come back down. Kind of go like that for a little while. I don't know. I'm not sure really, because you can't go all that far in a Cessna anyway. I mean, we can go a lot further than we have been, but I don't know. It's just a thought of mine, because we don't really have any destinations. Kind of like air hauler, it tells you where to go. This we just go wherever the heck we want. So I was thinking we would do for a little while. Unless you all want something different, you can always tell me in the comments what you want to see, where you want me to go, stuff like that. And we'll just try to build this company up and get some bigger planes. Alright, so take off the shakes, bring the GPS back up. And I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. We've got 206 miles to go. So, yeah, about 2.5 hours. But once we get up, level out, of course, it's not going to be that long. So I'll go ahead and speed it up. Be back in just a little bit. Alright everybody, I'm back. I just slowed it down to 2x. It looks like we're going to have enough fuel. I got really worried once we got up in the air. After a little ways, I was kind of like, are we going to have enough fuel? But it looks like we're good. Let's see if we can head up Wilmington. There we go. Full stop.
Wilmington Tower, Lima Golf 430. Lima Golf 430, Wilmington Tower, take left downwind, runway 35, altimeter 2994.
Runway 35, alright.
Make left, traffic, runway 35.
2994. There we go. So runway 35, let's go into our procedures, select approach. I can't remember which button it is. There it goes, I was pushing it the wrong way. ILS 35. Go ahead and load it. Alright, so landing on runway 35, let's turn this range down. Alright, so that's almost due north. Let's go ahead and turn on the nav. And also, let's, I believe it's around sea level. Well, it's got to be because it's like right on the ocean. So let's go down to like 2,000 feet. Still got 22 miles to go. Speed it up a little bit again. Yeah, I just got a little worried there. Like, are we gonna have enough fuel? I guess I should just put more in it when we got flights like this. I can't remember how far, a Cessna can go. It's been so long since I've flown it. And it's not like air hauler, where you gotta pay, for X amount of fuel. It just kind of, I guess, determines how much fuel you use and then charges you for that. So it's not so bad. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna go up and around. I can't remember. I think make left downwind. I think that means the runway's on your left. I can't always remember. Jeez. Also, let's watch our speed though. I did pull out the mixture. I know when you get higher, you are supposed to thin it out, not run so rich, and it actually does help with. Actually, we got a little faster when I did that. But I don't know exactly how much you're supposed to, thin it out, I guess you could say. But I don't know. I think that probably, it's got to save you on some fuel as well. That's one main reason I did it. Alright, we're now down to 5,000 feet. We don't have to descend so quick. You can just watch the speed. Should come down a little bit. And let's go ahead and speed this up some more, because we're gonna have to go like basically around the thing, and we'll go ahead and activate that approach. It's probably the long runway too, I'm guessing. I don't remember them ever having us land on the intersecting runway. It's almost always coming over the beach, over the ocean. Every time we landed at Wilmington. I'm going to increase this to 2,500 feet. We're actually descending a lot quicker than I thought we would. I'm not sure if I should enrich it some more. Probably should. As we get lower. We're getting right near the yellow on our speed. But the passengers are so happy. I don't know if they'll get unhappy if we overspeed. Like, are they really watching? We're about to overspeed. Well, not overspeed, but getting into the yellow. I don't know. Should they worry if we're in the yellow? Do they really care? Let's move this range down. We can come back to the left a little bit. A little more towards the east. It's about 10 miles out. I'm going to go ahead and put this on full. Alright. One last thing. We need to check the ILS on this. We went way too far out. Not way too far out, but didn't need to go that far. 35 is 110.3. 110.3. Can barely see the screen. 110.3. Alright, there we go. Switch that over. Alright, let's start heading over to the east now. So we can bring that range down. There we go. It's just, yeah, there. That's not it. I don't know. Maybe it was actually further back there. That menu bar out. Alright, now let's head down to 2000. Like last time, we went into Roanoke. It's not so good. We were way too high. Don't want to make that mistake again. So we can bring that down to 1800 actually. Alright, let's slow this down to 2x. We could actually switch this over to nav. It'll follow it on the GPS, and then we'll switch over. Right down to 1700 feet. Don't see the airport just yet. Let's go down to 1500. Alright, it was 348. Although... Alright, there's 348. Alright, so it should be just about straight ahead. That might be it. Let's go ahead and slow it down. Switch over to nav. That's gotta be it. We're still a good ways out. 2 miles until the next waypoint. There we go. It's gotta be right at 5 miles. It looks like. Yeah, there it is right there. We're a little low, which that's fine. It seems like I'm almost always low. That Roanoke one I wasn't, but every other time it seems like I'm always low. Which is different. I used to always be high. Actually, now it's kind of looking like we're right on it. We're just a little low. Alright, we're about right on it, so we'll go ahead and hit the approach. Alright, it should bring us down. It's not. Actually, maybe if we slow it down, it might. We could move this GPS out of here. Why is it not... And we're off to the... Seems like we're off to the side as well. Make sure we're normal speed. I don't know why this doesn't want to work. And we're just barely off to the right, and we're just barely low. Bring it down a little more. It is bringing us down. It's just not that accurate, but we are pretty much on it now. Alright. Get this thing slowing down more. Bring it back to idle so we can slow down so I can start getting my flaps out. Alright, here's one notch. Give us some more throttle. Now we got that drag. Everything looks good. It says we're slightly high. Second notch of flaps. We're 500 feet. I actually have family in Wilmington. That's why I kind of like to fly here now. We actually went down there for Christmas. Spent Christmas down there. I do kind of like Wilmington. You used to go to the beach there, Curry Beach. Oak Island is a heck of a lot better. If you've ever been there. It used to be called Long Beach. I don't know why the heck they changed it. It got destroyed, man, in a hurricane not all that long ago. They've rebuilt it really nicely. Alright, we're full flaps. Go ahead and kill the autopilot. It does say we are high. Metal marker. Slow down a little bit. Still slightly high and over to the left, it feels like. Alright. To the left. I guess it was a good landing. Whoa, I'm able right now. Sure, probably shouldn't have done that one. a little quick there. All right. Get over here and stop. Retract the flaps. Talk to ground. And we will turn on our taxi light, turn the landing, and strobe off. Alright. We are really low on fuel. That used to happen a lot in air hauler, man. We've got some really long flights where it was just right on the nose, like right at our maximum. I think we did have a few flights where I actually had to make pit stops. That's the only thing about the Cessna. It doesn't carry a whole lot, and you can't go all that far. That was, what, 200, a little over 200 miles, with starting out with 50% fuel. Wouldn't want to have to go much further. Let's get over here and get this thing parked. Texting kind of fast. Wonder if they'll do, like, I flew that Innsbruck around the world video, Innsbruck to Munich just the other day. They did it again, you know. Had me park clear at the other end of the freaking airport. I don't know, that flight right there, that landing, I don't know if that was a good landing or not. It was almost like we had all three wheels right at the same time. It couldn't have been too bad. I forgot, I should be recording these Just like I was doing with the 777 and air hauler. Start recording these landings and then replay them. I forgot. Need to remember to start doing that. Alright, well they didn't make us go too far. That's always nice. Nice of them. Alright. And this thing feels real squirrely on the ground. A lot different, than flying this freaking big aircraft. Alright. We can go up a little bit more. Alright, stop right here. Put the parking brake on. I don't know, I still can't do it with the mouse. I still don't know why. They can take their seatbelts off. As we shut her down. Let's turn all this off. Turn everything off. Alright, everything looks good. Let's go over here to FsPassengers and we're done. Alright. Number of passengers 2. Landing speed 57.96. Landing touchdown speed minus 129.2 feet per minute. Kissed it. Yes. Would be a nice one. Alright. The most important stuff. Well, we did use, how much fuel did we use? Does it not say total? Yeah, total 122. Alright. A lot more than I thought we would. Ticket income 270. Cargo. Oh, we forgot to add. Always put 100 pounds cargo. Forgot to do that. Daggone it. It would have lost a little bit. Obviously we don't do services. Let's see. Fuel cost 124 bucks. Not too bad. I don't know. It seems like fuel. Well, no, that's pounds. I'm sorry. I was thinking gallons. Like it's not $1 a gallon, but it is pounds. Airport tax is $2. Not bad. Insurance 11. Total real income 133. Times it by 50, we made 6,600 bucks. It's not too bad. Considering the flight was perfect, the ticket price good, passengers on this flight think that your company's reputation will be 100%, and your company's reputation now is 73.7. So it was a perfect flight. Got 334 bonus points, made a smooth landing, perfect flight, no problems, and very satisfied passengers. 150. You landed at the scheduled airport. 30. I don't know why you get. I'm not sure why you get credit for landing at the right airport. Long flight, 2 hours, 5 minutes without using time acceleration, without any problems satisfied. Well, you did, but use time acceleration, but I don't do that. One penalty disabled by. Alright, that's the time acceleration. Alright, so that's it. Alright, everybody, we're in Wilmington. Like I said during the flight, next will be Myrtle Beach, and then after that, Hilton Head. And then after that, I'm not really sure. We're just going to make our way south. Probably try to go out to like Key West or something. Maybe even further south. I don't know. Yeah, we can hit Cuba. I was thinking like, I don't know if we can go over to Puerto Rico or not. I've got San Juan scenery, which I've never shown. Because we've never had a flight there. But I don't know. But that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will see you on the next flight.